Oh, wait, fuck. Call the spaceships to Devonport. Prepare for Divanarchy and interface with the couch in space. If you're on YouTube, I screwed it up a little bit, but that's okay. I'll put the right URL in there right now because, sometimes you got to improv in space. Season 7, very happy to be here. That new intro is just it's just nuclear, the engines in the space couch that you can't see, but that are totally there. And who's always been there for us is our advertisers. Ligerhawk Records. You want to go to ligerhawkrecords.bandcamp.com for Lost in the Singularity, as remixed by Gasoline and Vertebrate. That's Invictus. 8-Bit Panda Strikes, Let's Get It On. Followed by Tommy Tantrums, Our Time, remember that name. And then it's going to be A Panda and His Uke with Narcissistic Nepotists. And then Gasoline and Vertebrate covered Real American, aka the Hulk Hogan theme, doing some more space maintenance right there. Also, Super 7 is sponsoring this show still. It's amazing. Go to super7.com/space couch show. That helps out the show here. I'm always picking up stuff from them, and this is they put out an ultimate of Pum Ra. It was in one episode of Thundercats. Mum Ra changed his name to Pum Ra. Nobody could figure it out, and he broke into the Cat Slayer on Thundercats, which is a show that I talk about sometimes. Just kidding, I talk about it all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great anticipation that I bring to you today's guest, all the way from America. It is Leonido. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, brother? Man, this has been a long time coming. I'm stoked to do it.
It's been a long time
Thank
coming.
you so much.
Yeah, I put in the wrong URL there on because we never go live, so I didn't quite know how to do OBS and the thing
Hey,
there. So sorry if you're reading that.
dude, you're a-okay. Again, I'm in no major I'm just happy to be here.
Well,
This stuff gets tricky, yo.
yeah, especially when you're doing it out in space for no reason on the knife's
Yeah.
edge of danger. Um, so
I mean, dude, considering the way America's been the last several years, I migrate to space.
well, we can zoom out. Speaking of space, a lot of times I will send guests things like I kind of feel like talking about beforehand, but you specifically requested I don't.
You sent me the list. You're like, yo, what do you think? And I was like, surprise me.
All
I like
right.
doing this shit.
Well,
Especially if it was gonna be live. We could do it off the cuff. We could see how just wild.
We'll start here because your output is voluminous. I would ask what you consider your main YouTube show, and we'll just go from there.
So my main show is probably Countercast, which is my Monday show. The show we'll be doing tomorrow, where I bring on. It used to just be like only me and everyone was a guest, and I did it that way for nearly a year and a half. And it got to the point where I was like, some shows fucking suck because you don't have like sometimes the folks just don't gel. Now there's a lot of folks that I would be repeat guests that I'm actually friends with and whatnot, and some people that I recently met. You're now more or less a regular on the show. People I try to bring on. Basically, I got together 20 folks that I stream with consistently, and I'm like, you are all my friends. You're all people I've gelled well. You're all people I've streamed with before. You're gonna be my crew, and so we're gonna do every Monday a variation of me, these 20 people, and just one single guest. And that's my main show
Okay.
as far as it goes.
And you, as the name implies, is it just sort of riffing on culture?
Well, that was an accident. That was a really happy accident. So my channel Words of Paradise is actually it's a Magic the Gathering reference.
Okay.
And because there's a card in Magic the Gathering called Birds of Paradise. I have a bird, but I also talk words. But in Magic, you one of the ways the spells you can cast are called counters. I was like, oh, well, in Magic you cast counters. I'm doing a
Nice.
podcast, so we'll call it Counter Cast. And people are like, oh, counterculture. I was like, oh yeah, that too. I totally meant that.
Okay.
But that was actually
Awesome. Digging into the puns already, and you of course have some other shows you're doing. Why don't you throw those out for our listeners and viewers?
Yeah, I do Neon Leon every Friday / really early Saturday, depending on your time zone. You've been on there. That's the one-on-one show. Foxy Moxie and the Chad's been on there. How you doing, Mox? But yeah, that's a fun show. And then, do I do anything else in terms of on my own channel? Oh yeah, and then on Tuesdays we got a conspiracy theory show called Tinfoil Haters. Me and my buddy Sammy Threepeat.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm just trying to get see if I
Do what you
can't
gotta do. It's your world,
view
homie. I'm just living in
chat
it.
stuff. Well, I mean, I don't really have a world. That's why I do the show from
Yes,
here.
you
The
do. You got
cost,
a whole wide universe around you. Like, look at all that. You got the
yes,
stars, just thinking amongst the
all
stars.
I am amongst the stars. That is certainly true. Um, okay, now I can see the chat. Hi, everybody. Um,
We got Grim Reaper in this bitch.
oh,
Styles
it's the
Big
other
Panda.
Gothical.
Look at
Hey,
all the
what's
folks
going
showing
on?
up to say howdy.
Friend of the show, Grim Reaper for Hire. Many guests of the show, 8-Bit Moxie. So, for our viewers, you have some wonderful merch out there. Why don't you? We could get Hondo shirts and hats.
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even think about plugging merch. This is I'm so rarely on new shows. It's really exciting for me. I'm like, oh right, yeah, people plug stuff and whatnot. But yeah, you can get shirts, you can get hats. I love. I'm an absolute sucker for the vaporwave look to
Okay.
show because you and I are probably roughly in the same ballpark age wise and whatnot. And
Yeah.
so like, that was just a big. I look when we were younger,
Totally.
and so yeah, you can get like Hondo with a big vaporwave background and whatnot, and it says it's all here in the Nerdosphere on the back. You can get my accidental catchphrase is Bingo Bango Bongo. You can get a shirt that says that in various different video game fonts. So bless you, buddy. Sorry, the bird just was sneezing in my ear. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not.
Well, okay. So get you some merch with the catchphrase. I forgot to say "Pingo Bango Bongo," uh, and let's get into your avian avatar there, Hondo. Everybody, he's got a bird on his shoulder. That's the coolest thing ever. Like, did he always gravitate to perching on your shoulder? Give us the superhero
Yeah,
origin story.
He's about 2.5 years old. I've trained him since birth.
Okay.
And so yeah, he's a bit rambunctious at times, and but yeah, basically just hand train him when he was really young, and it got to where he would just run all up and down. If I'm laying in bed, he might be snuggling under my neck, or he might run down into my kneecap, or like
Oh.
if I'm laying back and like how people lay in bed and watch TV and they'll prop their knees up, he'll stand up on top of my knee. Basically, just whatever the high point is, he runs on top of my head a lot. But I'm always worried he'll shit in my hair, which doesn't happen often, but has happened. What up, Furoy or Furoy? Or I apologize
Oh,
if I butchered your name.
Furroy's
Nice to see you,
here. What's
buddy.
going on, buddy? Former guest of the show. Great C64 video game developer. You might love his stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yes, but I'd like to get into your work ethic a little bit. Like, is there a mindset you cultivate to have so much gas in the metaphorical tank? Like, you're such an engine of output. I'm really impressed.
I just like doing shit. Like I this is my third attempt at a YouTube channel. I did one back in like 2016ish, or it was me and a friend. It was called Drinking Games, and we would just drink while playing video games, and try to
Right.
make a comedy show out of it and whatnot. And like the more we play, the progressively more drunk we get, and it becomes funny. And it never really took off because, like, to be fair, I didn't get a lot of time. We got like 6 months in, and I like edgy humor
Mhm.
because I'm perpetually 14, and
You're
it
in the
got to the
right
point
place.
where he was like, "You can't be saying certain things because YouTube will censor us." I'm like, "Bitch, we have like 200 subscribers. YouTube doesn't even know who we are. I want to be told what jokes I can and can't make." And so he and I went our separate ways. I tried a solo show. I got 3 episodes in, then my apartment got robbed, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm done." And then several
Fuck.
years later, it was like, okay, time to do YouTube again because I'm going through a divorce and I need a creative outlet, or I'm gonna
Yeah,
like end up in a bathtub with a razor blade or something.
I hear
And
that.
and then lo and behold, it just turned into let's talk about everything all the time.
All right, all right. I'm into it. I'm into it. So, well, speaking of the nerd sphere, I'm kind of, I feel like stumbling into this whole world a bit like late with Moxie
You mean
Game
eight
and
bit late, not a bit late. 8 bit late. There
I'm
you go.
8-bit late. My timer's running low. Like
Dude, that seems like that'd be a song. That'd be a song of the 8 bit late.
8-bit late is good.
I've seen some of your music. I'm just saying that seems up your alley. Sorry,
That is
continue.
no, that's write that one down in the space log. But like I'm just sort of like the new kid on the block, and not just because I sing like an angel,
I was
but
going to say you're our personal Donnie Wahlberg.
yeah, I
Yeah.
am your personally Donnie Wahlberg. I'm all naked at the start of Sixth Sense. Like, did you know everybody beforehand, or like did you all just
No, I've
meet in the?
I've just been very blessed over the time on YouTube to meet people that like have been really, really awesome that I consider friends or have grown to be friends with. Like our mutual friend Foxy Mox on hers. So we became friends. She introduced me to you. I've just been met a lot of folks and they keep saying, "Hey, come back to our shows." And you eventually start fostering a relationship where you're like, "Oh,
Oh
you're
yeah,
texting and talking like when you're not on stream together, just like, hey, how is it on a regular Tuesday on Twitter or whatever." So
I think that's her Twitter bio, by the way. Beautiful, talented redhead bitch. Moderately attractive, I meant to say.
yeah, I guess it's called the Big Red Love Machine.
Well, okay, cool. Because I didn't know like this, like that I the scene that I'm sort of sidled into. But speaking of the lovely Moxie name and shows you do, we are on a show called Deep Six Flicks.
We are on her
The
channel.
on her channel along with Dragon Slayer commentaries. Let's take this opportunity to sort of zoom out on Deep Six Flicks for a second. Like, how do you think
Let's do it
the
because that's been a
format's going and all
blast.
that? Oh, god damn it! Oh,
Oh
no,
no, we've changed. We traveled to the hyperdrive. We
no,
might be hitting
no,
a black
yeah,
hole. There's a supernova.
yeah. We ah,
Oh, did we freeze?
no,
Ah,
I broke,
Russian. I knew it. He's a Russian asset. Everybody. I don't even know if we're live right now, but I'm improving like a
no,
monk.
we are. I uh, space problems, but back
Dude,
to
it's a wild because it's frozen on my side on YouTube, and you straight up look like you're going full Elon Musk, if you know what I mean.
um,
So if that wasn't gonna get you,
I don't know. Like I have a
my
bunch of
heart goes
kids.
out to you,
Oh,
basically.
okay. No, that was just a smoke signal to my Nazi friends. Clearly,
Okay, gotcha. Just making sure. Yeah, just we don't like Nazis around here. In case it goes
it's
without
a
saying.
joke. It's a joke. Deep Six Flicks. What do you think, man?
Dude, I love it. I wasn't there for the first episode. I was watching the first episode because Mox was like, "Hey, I'm starting this new thing," and
Yeah.
actually, no, I didn't see it when it was live because I was on a different show at the time, and I watched it afterwards. I was like, "Oh, this is a cool idea. I like the fact that she's doing movie reviews. It was before I really met you, and she had talked about you a lot, so I knew of
Aw.
you, and it was like, man, doing just weird, obscure movies is a great idea." And I don't remember what the reason was, but for episode 2, she's like, "Hey, do you want to be a guest?" I was like, I didn't even know the show was going to be doing guests, but yeah, sure. And then she was like, will you just stay? Because you balance out Brian and Dragon really well. And I said, I'd love to. And since that, and I've had a blast with it. I think it's a really fun show. So you guys got something great going on up in that bitch.
Well, we do. So at home, check out. Just put in Deep Six Flicks, Flex FLIX into your internet magical machine, and see us talk about movies you might have missed or seen and thought I need four.
Probably
weirdos.
missed. Let's be real. Almost all of these are obscure motherfuckers that you probably missed.
Well, we
Your first recommendation, which was the first episode I was on, has become a mainstay in my life.
Awesome. Dr.
I
Caligari.
love Dr. Caligari.
It's
At this
so
point,
good.
I'm.
I think it's your
just-
turn to
it-
pick a movie though for the next
Oh,
one.
if it is, I'll think of one. I haven't haven't talked with Mox about it at all. But dude, yeah, I can't wait to. I've got a lot of obscure whack ass films in my mental,
Okay.
but man, Dr. Caligari, that one's gonna be tough to beat because it's like, okay, this is because I love the original film, like the sign of the
Right.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and so since your guys' first episode was Metropolis, I was like, oh, so I assume it's gonna be like old films and whatnot, and so.
I didn't make that connection.
And
That's
yeah,
funny.
and so like the day before, Jess is like, "Hey, I found two different Dr. Caligari films, the old silent film and this weird one from the '80s." I was like, "There's no way it's some obscure motherfucker from the '80s. Like you guys did Metropolis. It's obviously the silent." Nope, I was wrong. It's
Nope.
it was the '80s. Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Check out that episode. It's pretty sick. I want to ask you this, and credit to friend of the show Mike Harlow for the idea. But like,
Love Mike. I actually found out about Mike because of your show with him.
awesome. Well, he had this like this idea that like what are we? You know, like meaning the left would say we're transphobic Nazis, and like
I am only one of those things.
okay. Well, I
I'll
prefer
let you
the
guys
term.
pick which one.
I prefer the term transphobic national socialist. It's a joke, and
That was good.
but then like on the right we're gamer freak weirdos. So like
Yeah, dude.
what are we?
And it's wild because like, and I'm sure that Mike has gone through this with a lot of folk on the right as well, being a homo and all that. That like, there's folks on both sides don't like those of us that like. Don't get me wrong, a lot of my values do align with the right, but there's more moral stuff as opposed because I'm an anarchist. Like I don't have a political affiliation. I say libertarian because I know anarchy can't really exist, and so I settle for libertarian. But yeah, dude, yeah, what are we? Basically, I just like to think folks with common sense.
Yeah, that works. That works. Sensocrat. I don't know. It's just common sense. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna try to like portmanteau it into a party name.
I like a sensocrat. It sounds like something that would be like an AI in a sci-fi war movie. Like we're watching the new
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Wars. Star Wars back when George Lucas was involved in like yeah his sensocrat army that the Jedi must.
Yes. The like they would govern some weird planet in Star Trek's Next Generation, right?
Right, and yeah, and Picard would have to go in with diplomacy, and shit would go haywire, and yeah, exactly.
Ominous horns. So on that note, here's about as open-ended a question as I could write. But
Lay it on me. Let's do it.
how do we fix culture?
All right, so fixing culture is going to be a wild one because that's more or less what I'm trying to in like a small part do in my channel because like a lot of folks say that fixing culture is getting rid of all this like left-wing woke agenda stuff, and like while that's true, that's such a nebulous and vague thing, and a lot of folks want to replace that with like right-wing stuff. I don't want politics in my culture in general. Like I don't need to be preached to about transphobia or the Second Amendment, like either one. Basically just make good stories. And a lot of folks are saying like, oh, we need to replace the mainstream. The mainstream's rejected us. Disney's rejected us. Sony, this, and like, don't get me wrong. I agree that they've been shit for years, whether it be gaming, whether it be comics, movies, and I advocate for indie art, whether it be again music, comics, the whole nine. But I think there's space for both. I think you can have
Hmm.
your indie projects and your indie comics indie games been blowing up, and you can support these creators that are they're the little guy. But I don't think it has to be one or the other. So if if Fox ends up putting out a good movie, well, I say Fox is owned by Disney now. Point is, if some company out there makes good films like like Oppenheimer or whatever, don't reject it just on the basis of Hollywood's a bunch of woke weirdos.
Okay.
Just support good shit. I think humans will naturally, people who are not political ideologues on either side will understand good stories and good character, and just call out the bad, advocate for the good, and try and support both indie and big budget stuff while giving actual good nuanced honest critique beyond just like, oh, it's woke, I don't like it. Like, oh, okay, woke doesn't inherently mean bad, but it certainly doesn't it isn't good. Like, if you're gonna review something, if you're gonna talk about a piece of art or a corporate slot that's pretending to be art, be well versed in how you're articulating that. It can't just be like, oh, woman main character so bad. Like, well, no, that's not how it works, you know.
Oh, I should. So you're saying I should take down that bumper sticker I put up?
Oh, yeah. No. If you're gonna have a bumper sticker, it needs to be something like, "I am man. Watch me give you the right to vote."
Yes. Okay. Cool. Cool. I'm actually getting that tattooed on my back after the.
There you go. Your tramp stamp. I dig it.
Yes, my tramp stamp is this really long, specific phrase.
Bro, I met a girl one time that had the Konami code tramp stamp.
Ah,
It was great. It was like the cheat code for sex. It's like, oh right, okay, so up, down, left, right, left, right.
somebody should write a song about that and then sing it for 25 years. I was 18. The
Like, yeah, the shameless plug. That was well done.
well, it's like it's second nature at this point. Um, you've brought. I don't know if this is going to be interesting for anybody but me, but you've mentioned that I need to do different things here out here in YouTube world, and I'm not maximizing
I think
potential.
it'd be a good idea. Yeah, I think.
But I don't know
Just because
how.
You're a natural,
Like, what
you're
do
a
I
natural
do?
performer. You're a natural entertainer. You've been doing music, and it's like the YouTube stuff. But back when because again, I haven't known you super long, only about 3 or 4 months at this point, maybe. But seems to be sort of a side gig. I'm like, man, if you're not able to play music as much, then you've got such creativity and these creative juices. Channel it into YouTube, whether it
Okay.
be videos or live stuff. Because I don't know about you, I assume like as an artist, you feel that need
Oh yeah,
to
1,000,000%.
stay creative, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I think it'd be great for you to
Okay.
find some way to maximize that.
So in terms of output, so like I thought I was doing something like technically amiss,
No,
or
oh, no, no, no. There are technical aspects to it, like,
like when I
oh,
just fucking broke the
how do I
reality.
title this, or how
Yeah.
do I put in the right tags to make it pop in the
Hmm.
algorithm? And like that's something that everybody learns slowly as they go
Okay.
on YouTube. But yeah, but I mostly meant output in terms of like, yeah, you're a creative
Gotcha.
dude.
Gotcha.
Like channel that into a way of like doing stuff consistently. Maybe do other stuff on top of this or whatnot. And as far as like the technical algorithm bullshit stuff, that comes with time. And obviously, I can help with any of that. If you got questions or whatnot. I love helping people with YouTube stuff because when I people help me early on, and so I love the idea of paying it forward.
Aw.
But yeah, I just think that you'd be
Well,
again.
thanks,
Hopefully,
man.
hopefully it would get some of those creative juices out there that I know that you probably have.
Speaking of, I know I see Panda in the chat room. Speaking of other projects and sponsors, Space Couch exclusive. The next in the Enter the Octagon series should be out this week, maybe tomorrow, but don't hold your space breath. That will be a free sampler with a lot of new material from the artist on Ligerhawk Records. Thanks for that, allowing me to do a spot on
Absolutely.
your time there, Leon. But now we're going to
No,
bring it
no,
back
dude.
to our.
Right, dude, plug away. I love being plugged. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I don't have like a grift thing going on, so I just help out the people on the label.
Man, that's another fun term, grift. Like it's a word that they started throwing around without knowing what it really meant. Like usually
Okay.
the opposite side, the folks that don't like what we do, and so we sort of like try to co-opt and be like, all right, you're gonna call us grifters, we'll say we're grifting, but grifting is lying and swindling for money, basically being a snake oil salesman, is like, look, I'm not gonna say I'm right every time, but I believe the shit I'm saying. So it's
Yeah.
not a grift. Like, if sure, folks might be sending super chats or I might be making money on YouTube or whatnot, but it's not a grift if I believe it. But that said, it does. I also could be wrong. I've been wrong before. When I'm wrong, I like to admit I'm wrong.
I mean, it's happened, but don't set your watch by it. This guy is on point. Um, I know all you out in the audience are like I was gonna say you're all a nerd, but like I know that implicitly. Like if you're watching Space Couch, you're a fucking nerd. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
will.
yeah, you're watching a dude who's sitting in the far off nebulas with a cup of coffee talk to a dude with fucking anime behind him. Like, yeah, we're all probably pretty nerdy in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I say that to say you will love all of Leon's 26,000 channels. They're really funny, and I wanted to at least be a little bit professional because I'm excited to have our guests on Leon Idol, Neon Leon, Words of Paradise, both the word he of many names, and also
Asshole.
asshole. Is that what it says on the birth certificate, or is that just like a nickname?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty great because my mother, I don't think she even wanted me. She bounced out when I was 10, so I don't even know what she calls me because she could just be like, yeah, that parasite that was around for a few months, like so yeah, just a whole lot of things. Go for it.
Wow, that's pretty intense, man.
I love dark humor, bro.
Well,
Not Kevin Hart. That's a different kind of dark humor. I don't find him funny, but like,
um, so I'm working on my stand up, and let me know if you like
you're doing a terrible job because you're sitting right now. But go on.
That's the fun. It's even funnier than the joke I was gonna line up.
God damn, I'm sorry. Go on.
No,
Let's
it's just
hear it.
like because I've been falling asleep. Like I like to listen to stuff when I fall asleep, and lately it's just I'm listening to a lot of brown noise, which I think they just call hip hop. That's the joke.
No, that's good. No, I like
All
that.
right, all right.
I was actually going to ask you if brown noise is a thing because I couldn't tell you were going into a bit, which is good because you don't want people to know it's a bit. So like that was I
You
like
know,
that.
it is great. Like I have honestly been falling asleep to brown noise. It sounds like a waterfall in the distance. I am getting
Oh,
way
really?
up.
So brown noise is a thing. Holy shit! See,
Brown noise, yeah, pink.
it's
It's all
show people. I didn't even know.
yeah, audio stuff. Woo. Um, I post video of my performance. Oh yeah, check out Panda's uke performances because he's really great. Just looking at the chat. All right, it's time, everybody. For features, we'll start with Radiation Round. Called that because lightning is exceedingly rare in space. Say whatever you want, no wrong answers. What is the most underrated video game?
The most underrated. Okay,
Or
you're gonna have
one
to give me
of.
like you're gonna give me need a few seconds to think about this because there's a yeah, I could go on a list. I don't really know what constitutes as underrated. I've nowadays because there's so many video games out there, but there's one that I've been playing that I've been loving, and I don't. It's called Crow Country. Did you
Crow
ever
Country.
play like Resident Evil games back in the day on the
Sure.
PS1 and
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that? Like it's a modern game in that it came out within the last year or two, but it's made to look like an old school PlayStation game. And you're this young girl who you go to this abandoned amusement park that like all the animatronics and amusement park things are have come to life and they're trying to kill you. And I don't know why she's there yet because I'm not super far in the story, but basically it plays just like an old school 90s horror game, and horror
Hell
games
yeah.
are my bread and butter. So
All
yeah,
right.
Crow Country, I would say that's the one off the top of the
Crow
dome.
Country. I will always throw out. I know nobody asked me, but I'll take this opportunity to throw out
No, I
the
want to hear it.
GI Joe Nintendo game. It
Like for the original Nintendo
Yeah, the
Entertainment System
original
one, I remember that.
because it like it on the outset it came out way after the cartoon was popular and like licensed games are always kind of shitty, but like you could choose your characters, you could power them up, they each had their own thing, you could steal Cobra vehicles, super advanced for the time. This one is a little bit more of a hypothetical spectacle, but I couldn't think of anything else. And I'm really excited to hear what you have to say.
No,
It's
lay it on
it's a
me.
little bit highfalutin conceptual. So
Okay.
using the people in our YouTube nerdo sphere, make a classic D&D party? Like, would Moxie be the barbarian?
No, Moxie's the healer.
Moxie's the healer.
Mo-
Okay.
Moxie's the healer. For a couple reasons. One, she actually like plays healers in those types of games. But also Moxie's very much like live off the land, all
Okay.
loosey goosey out in the country and shit. So I feel like she would know like all the herb stuff. Like, oh, you got caught, slap
Okay.
this sappy leaf on here. So yeah, Moxie the healer. You're the bard. Easy. Obviously, you're a musician. You're bard. Let's see.
I had Carrie
So,
Smith as the paladin.
no, actually, I was say a bit maybe self-aggrandizing to say, but I'm probably the rogue.
Yeah,
not
you
necessarily
are
dashing rogue. Just
1000%
the rogue.
the rogue. Animal affinity with Hondo.
See, if we had a paladin, who do I know that's religious? Because I feel like you gotta have someone religious
Like
play
Gothics?
the paladin. Say again.
Gothics?
Oh, Gothics. Yeah, Gothics pretty religious. In fact, that would also be great for the ESG scores if they want to make a movie out of it, because our paladin would be a religious black female. So that's really good. I like that. And then let's see, we need one more. We need a what are they called? The ones that are great with animals.
Druid?
Druid, thank you. Yes, we need a druid. So who do we know is all outdoorsy and shit like that? Obviously I know a lot of people do outdoorsy stuff. I play video games.
Let's go.
I'll say my boy Zax as the druid, and that's because there'd be he's a jacked dude. You've been on. I've streamed with him before. He's a really big guy. But also, I just found out yesterday how much he loved his cat, who sadly passed. I was like, you know what? I like the idea of this jacked, big, buff dude actually being the dude that does stuff with animals. So we'll call Zax the druid, and there's the party.
Lilith says, "What would be me?" I'm sorry, I don't know you, Lilith.
Yeah, Lilith, I believe, is like from the Netherlands or something. So there's a bit of a language barrier there. And unfortunately, Lilith, I don't know you well enough to know what you would be.
So an NPC
maybe
or a
like
barbarian?
I was gonna say, yeah, you'd be like the temple guard that was like that took the arrow to the knee or whatever. And,
Temple guard, Templar, Lilith the Templar. 8-Bit Panda Strike says we're POC approved, so like, phew.
I was real worried about that. You know, you and I don't have. But between the two of us, if you mix our colors together, we'll get like a little gray because we're both so light.
Let's shed some light on the final question here of Radiation Round. Another open-ended one, but Comics had a great answer. I think Comics would be like captain, maybe a fighter kind of guy, or artificer. He'd be anyway.
As in Comics division.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I could totally see him being a fighter.
All right. So question 3: who is the biggest train wreck in Congress?
Oh, the biggest train wreck in Congress. If you'd have asked me like a year,
it changes hourly.
Dude. If you'd have asked me a year and a half ago, I just said Fetterman.
Okay.
However, he now is like probably the most based of anybody on the left. Like after his stroke and shit, he like, I guess it gave him the common sense superpower.
Well, as his brain heals, he gets more conservative.
Yeah, right. So I guess maybe Ilhan Omar. It takes a pretty big train wreck to fucking marry your brother. So
that's the line. That's the title of the episode right there. Good stuff.
That's good.
Well, we already started. That's going to be the first Space Couch shirt. Actually, is it takes a big fucking train wreck to marry your brother.
To marry your brother, I love it. I will buy the show that, and I will wear that on my own shows.
Lilith says, "Oh no, being a Templar is cool. What are you talking about?" We already started did one, but let's just hit this one. Hypothetical spectacle. This is sort of like where we get like crazy and weird.
Well, see, I thought it was like wearing imaginary glasses, you know, your hypothetical spectacles. So
that's good. Oh yeah, we're coming up with all the merch ideas. We're just going to get into eyewear, and shipping costs will be zero for your hypothetical spectacles. Okay, so sort of in the same vein, but hitting as many anime tropes as possible. What do you think Leon Idol the anime would look like? Would it be like a yellow dancer Leona thing from Robotech? Where the guy was like a cross dresser. Or
I actually retired that character just a couple days ago.
oh, okay.
I've only I said I'll bring it back if there's a really good reason to. And if I was to get my own anime, that'd be a real good reason to bring the crossdresser back.
The
But
I wanted to
I
throw
I,
out.
I
Oh, sorry.
what was that?
We're talking. I'm being a bad host because I'm so excited about my idea. The other like super typical anime ization of your show would be like if you and Sammy Threepeat do a Fist of the North
Oh, do the
Star.
fusion dance.
Well, the fusion dance. I was
Okay,
gonna
I
say.
see you doing this, so I assume that's what you're going to talk
Oh,
about.
no,
with the fusion
I was
dance.
going Fist of the North Star. One dude makes heads explode.
Oh yeah,
And the other guy draws fucking lines in the air with his fingers.
I've got Fist of the North Star sitting just off camera over here. I've
So,
got it on DVD,
or we
on
could
Blu-ray.
go Dragon Ball, and you got to collect all 7,000 shows you do. What would, unless you actually talk now, what would Leon the anime?
Yeah, no,
look
that
like?
well, it's funny because there's this genre of anime that I wish people watch more, and it's music anime, and there's so many of my favorite animes are music based. It's always about like people starting bands and starting groups and
Oh, okay.
whatnot, and then being like, oh, we're the underdog band, and we've got to make it to the top in like a battle of the band scenario. Or there's the one really good sci-fi one called Carol and Tuesday where it's these two girls where like AI music pretty much controls the industry, and they're like, you know what?
Okay.
No, we're gonna bring back real music with nothing but two girls singing and with an acoustic guitar and a keyboard, and they like try to bring back real music in an era where AI has taken over. But there's also it takes place on Mars, and like Mars and Earth are at like a political impasse. So they're
Wow.
like, trying to heal the political divide with their music. So it's like it could be me and all my friends as band members trying to heal the
Yes!
world with music.
Sharon Apple has fucking taken over.
Yeah.
And it's up to Leon and the Idols or whatever. Leon and the Words to
I like Leon and the Idols because then we can throw in as many Billy Idol references as possible.
Bring in-
I won't, I'm not even original enough to come up with my own. I was like, I'll just steal the last name of my favorite musician.
It is a marriage made in heaven, a white wedding, if you will.
Oh my god! There we go. That was well done.
Practicing that Hondomancy. So there you have Leon the
That would be the first album, Hondomancy.
yes, from Leon and the Idols, because it would be a spin-off album, I'm assuming, from the movie
Absolutely.
after it breaks all the box office records, or at least does better than fucking Captain America 4. A boom.
General Warts did better than Captain America 4.
Damn it! Coming up with all the show names tonight. That's the sample. I think Genital Warts did better than Captain America 4. Awesome, man. Well, that's everything I had. So what we learned today? I've been doing these summaries.
Leon, we learned that it takes a train wreck to marry your brother.
It takes a train wreck
That's
to
one
marry your
thing.
brother. I mean, that's the
I
big
learned
lesson.
that brown noise is a thing because I truly did not know. So there's at least two things.
Very good. Check out Countercast on Mondays. I'll be on it tomorrow, so maybe skip that one. But
No, tomorrow's gonna be great. We have
tomorrow's gonna be
actually
great.
have an indie game dev coming on as the guest who he was making this indie game that parodied a lot of streamers and whatnot, and one streamer got really upset and is
No.
now trying to sue him, but like it's parody, so what the fuck? And so it's gonna be a lot of fun to discuss that and talk about all the news of the day and things like that.
All right. Well,
Oh, Lucky Star's great, 8-Bit Panda. I love Lucky Star.
we'll check that out. Lucky.
It's an anime.
Okay. Tinfoil Haters is the
Yeah,
Conspiracy
Tinfoil Haters. I
show.
have no
Check that
idea
out.
what our upcoming topic is. We've talked about so much. We've done Mothman was our most recent one. That was all fun. We've covered the Men in Black. We've covered Polybius.
And that's you and the esteemed Sammy
Paul is
Threepeat
dead.
just sort of waxing.
Yeah, me, Sammy, Threepeat, and then just one guest. We let them pick a conspiracy theory of choice.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing Adrenochrome with Vex Electronica March 11th. That's gonna be fun.
Ooh. And then Neon Leon is just sort of you talking about, what was that one?
Neon Leon used to be a solo show where I just ranted for two
Yeah.
hours. But then I got really drunk one night before the show, and I was like, I can't do a solo show, and I quickly hit up a
Okay.
buddy. I was like, Hey, can you help me co-host? And it went off really, really well. So I was like, oh, let's just turn it into a two-person show where I just interview people, very much similar to what you're doing now. And
Yeah, that's
so
how it
we
happened.
switched between like interviewing, covering news,
Okay.
interview, cover the news, and it's been a lot of fun, dude. Neon Leon this last week was a blast.
Awesome. Well, check out all those
You've been on that
shows.
show. Check out the Neon Leon with Brian. He was one of my
It
very
was it
first guests when I switched to a guest model.
it I loved it. Check out not only that but Deep Six Flicks. If we our next one should be good. No movie yet, but the that's how we like to roll, just fucking on the knife's edge out here in space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have a special guest star, the coolest bird in all of the YouTubeosphere, Hondo. We are
Feeling.
make sensocratarians, sensuplicants.
Since supplicants sounds cool too. Since sort of like replicants, like in Blade
Sensuplicants.
Runner.
Oh yeah, they like sense them up like they're sex bots or something, and then one goes rogue, and JCVD has to karate kick him.
Dude, I ain't even gonna front. You brought sex bots. I'm not even gonna front. Like I don't know if I would ever use one, but I am ready for the rise of sex bots. Just like because look, I love women. I respect women. However, I feel like a lot of women need to know their place, and once they realize that like men can start getting sexual stuff elsewhere, maybe they'll like chill out a little. Maybe they'll stop like dyeing their hair blue and stop being like pro Kamala. They'll be like, fuck. If we can't get fucked because now men are buying robots, maybe we should go back to wearing dresses and just having long natural colored hair.
I mean, it's coming, right? Like the advent of. I didn't even mean to go there.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, depending on how you do, but uh, like the AI sex bots are like on the horizon. Is what I'm saying.
100%. Yeah, you can technically buy them now. They're like just $3,000 or $5,000 or something,
Okay.
like shit from Japan or whatever.
All right, I'll
Um,
start stashing my page.
I know more about this than I should.
um, uh, I might start doing more YouTube. We had an amazing. I didn't give you proper credit for your D&D party because that was fucking awesome, dude.
Thank you. That was a great question.
We Gothix is an amazing paladin. Moxie, of course, is the healer, not just of our bodies but of our hearts.
Of our hearts, our souls, our minds.
We have of course the amazing Leon as the rogue, possibly the Hondomancer, and then we have the comics division as the fighter,
As our fighter, and Zax is our druid.
Zax the
Yeah,
druid.
I think that was
And,
that was everyone. And then Lilith and Chat be the temple guard that use dashing rogue-like ways to
Yes.
get past. Maybe just distract with the bird.
I don't know what Mike Harlow's class would be, but his charisma is definitely 22.
Oh, dude, yeah, you 100% charisma build. Almost in an idiot savant sort of way though, because he's so aloof. Like I don't know if you've ever made that build where like you make yourself bad at everything, but give really high luck and
Right.
charisma. And I feel like that would be Mike's way to go.
Okay, cool. He'd min maxing. Um,
Yeah.
Let's see. Check out Crow County. I forgot the name of it.
Crow County has a
Crow
great
County.
game. Super cheap. It was like
Uh,
$7 or something when I bought it.
avoid if you're gonna be in Congress. Avoid fucking your brother, and
And ironically enough, maybe have a stroke. It seems to help for whatever reason.
it's just like a checklist for how to be in Congress. Like, don't have stroke, don't fuck brother, or have stroke, don't fuck
Yeah, have
brother.
stroke. Don't.
Yeah,
fuck
that's
with-
why you
it's a
need the
very
checklist, 'cause
specific
you get them
list, but,
confused
it
otherwise.
seems to be working.
Like, oh, I didn't have a stroke and I fucked my okay. And check out the as of yet, but potentially just named Leon and the Idols rock and roll anime coming up with the album. Any final thoughts you have here before we end our signal from space?
Actually, yeah, and like this wisdom was imparted on me like years ago, and I never forgot it. So if I literally try and live my life by this philosophy. It's helped me immensely, whether it be like on YouTube and life. Not really in dating, because I've been divorced twice, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it work for dating. It's Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
That's. I'm gonna meditate on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold that close to your heart. Yeah.
Right, right. I may
Confucius saying.
expand that into like DoorDash and Instacart with more self reflection, but I'll start at